If your entire business model relies on the shape of a funnel, you are in trouble. For the last 10 years, we worshiped the sales funnel. It was the holy grail of digital marketing. You put $1 in the top, into Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram boosts, and you got $2 out of the bottom. It was a money printer. It was predictable. It was scalable. It was fast. But have you noticed what's happening right now? The printer is jamming. If you look at your dashboard, the numbers are flashing red. Your ad costs are up 30 to 40% year over year, your conversion rates are dropping, and the customers you do manage to buy, they are harder to keep and they complain more. The hard truth that nobody wants to admit is that the golden age of cheap, direct response advertising is over. The era of the linear funnel is dead. We are entering a new era, the era of the media ecosystem. And if you don't make the switch, you aren't just going to lose market share. You're going to spend your way into bankruptcy trying to buy attention that you should have owned. What's up, guys? I own a media company, and that means my entire job is understanding where human attention goes. And right now, the way human beings buy things has fundamentally changed. But most small businesses are still marketing like it's 2015. Let's really break down why the old model is failing. It comes down to one simple concept, the trust gap. Marketing 101 used to say a customer needed 7 touch points before they trusted you enough to buy. You see an ad, you see a billboard, maybe get a cold email, boom, sale. It was quick. But recent data from Google and massive research firms like Forrester suggests that number has exploded. Today, it can take anywhere from 20 to 500 touch points depending on what you sell. Let's call it the 70 rule. Why the massive jump? Because we have been advertised to since the day we were born. We have developed banner blindness. We don't trust logos anymore. We don't trust polished corporate speak. We trust people. We trust value. Here's a math problem that destroys the funnel. You can't afford to pay for 7 touch points for Facebook ads. You cannot afford to pay for 70. If you try to use paid ads to drag a customer through 70 different interactions, your customer acquisition cost, your CAC, will eat your entire profit margin. You will lose money on every single customer. This is why you see so many e-commerce brands and local businesses struggling right now. They're trying to force a 2015 strategy into a 2025 reality. So how do you get 70 touch points without going broke? You stop renting attention and you start owning it. You have to understand the difference between rented land and owned land. Social media, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, that is rented land. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, they're your landlords. They can raise the rent, which is your ad cost, or they can evict you, which is a shadow ban, whenever they want, without warning. If you build your entire business on rented land, you are vulnerable. The solution is to become your own media company that happens to sell your product. Now, don't let that scare you. Being a media company doesn't mean you need a Netflix budget or a studio in Hollywood. It means shifting your mindset from selling to publishing. Let's look at a practical example. Let's take a real estate agent. The old way, the funnel way, is running an ad that says, looking to buy a home, call me. That is expensive and you look like a commodity. You look like everyone else. The media way is different. That agent starts a YouTube channel reviewing neighborhoods. They start a podcast interviewing local business owners about the school district. They start a weekly newsletter that analyzes local housing market data. Now, think about the customer journey. A potential home buyer watches 10 of your neighborhood tours. They listen to 5 podcast episodes on their commute. They read your market analysis every Sunday morning. By the time they are ready to buy a house, they have consumed 3 hours of your content. You have hit those 70 touch points. And guess what? You didn't pay a dime for those views. You earn them. When they pick up the phone, they aren't interviewing you. They are calling to hire you. That is the power of being a media company. You aren't chasing clients. You are attracting an audience. This is a new model. I call it the infinite loop. Instead of pushing people down a funnel to a sale, you push them into an ecosystem that feeds itself. It has 3 distinct layers. Layer 1 is discovery. This is your short form content. TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts. The goal here isn't to sell. The goal is simply to be seen. You are casting a wide net with entertainment or quick education. You are waving hello. Layer 2 is trust. This is the most important part that everyone skips. You have to move that attention to a long-form platform, a podcast, a YouTube channel, or a deep dive newsletter. You cannot build trust in 15 seconds. You build trust in 15 minutes. This is where you prove you are the expert. This is where the relationship is solidified. Layer 3 is community. Create a space where your customers talk to each other, not just to you. A Discord, a Facebook group, or even just a vibrant comment section that you actively engage in. In a funnel, the relationship ends when they buy. In an ecosystem, the purchase is just one data point in a long lifetime relationship. Now I know what you're thinking. I can hear the objection already. I run a plumbing business, or I run a dental practice, or I sell software. I don't have time to be a creator. I have a business to run. Here is my answer to that. Marketing is the business. If you don't have a way to bring new people in the door cheaply, you don't have a business. You have a ticking time bomb. You don't need a production crew. You don't need fancy lights. You just need to change your goal. Stop asking, how can I create an ad that sells? Start asking, how can I create content that helps? If you are a plumber, Stop posting flyers. Start a weekly video series on homeowner disasters and how to prevent them. If you sell a software, start a podcast about the problems your software solves, interviewing the leaders in that industry. Build the audience before you need the sale. That audience is your asset. It is your insurance policy against rising ad costs and changing algorithms. The businesses that win in the next 5 to 10 years won't be the ones with the biggest ad budgets. It will be the ones with the most loyal audiences. It will be the ones who realize that in a world of AI and automation, the only thing that cannot be commoditized is a real human connection. So here's your homework. Stop looking at your marketing as a slot machine where you put money in and hope money comes out. Start looking at it as construction. You're laying bricks. You're building a house. Stop building funnels. Start building a world that your customers want to live in. I'm curious, what is the owned media channel that you're going to commit to this year? Are you finally going to start that YouTube channel? Are you going to launch that newsletter? I want you to commit to this and tell me in the comments below. The entire reason I started my media company is because I saw a lot of business owners, especially small business, struggling to figure out social media or get new clients in the door and things like that. I just really wanted to take my expertise in social media and posting and video editing, all that, and bring it to businesses and just make that more accessible to everybody. Because I'll tell you a story. So I had a personal trainer when I was like 12, 13. And he owns a gym, right? And it's a local gym. It's kind of small, but he's always been saying like, I need to do social media, I need to do social media, but he never knew how. And so that reminder that there's people out there who don't understand social media, especially if they're older or they started a business before social media was kind of a big thing. Things like that is why I've wanted to do this. That's partially why I make these videos, because the people that maybe I can't help out or I don't have the budget right now, I can still help out by giving them the tools and the resources and the knowledge that they would need to know in order to grow their business or figure out social media or things like that. So I just really want to drive home this point of like, social media is a long-term game. If you look at it in the short term, you will burn out. You will think it's not worth it. But if you stick with it for a long period of time, I promise you it will work long term.